Hi everybody, welcome back to a new movie review, and today we're starting off Biblical Month. Yay! I've been so excited to get this off the ground. I did this actually, I think a couple years ago when I did my Instagram account, which is still up, um, which is Old Hollywood 20s to the 60s. If you're interested in following, I'll link it down below. But anyway, I did a thing where I would try to watch a biblical movie like every day for a whole month. Obviously, I can't really do that here. It'll just be like probably 4 videos this month. But I am super excited to talk about one of my early favorites, The Sign of the Cross. Released in 1932 and directed by Cecil B. DeMille, it stars Elisa Landi, Frederick March, Claude Colbert, and Charles Lawton. The plot is, after Nero burns Rome, he shifts the blame to the Christians. The next day, when a commotion in the streets happens, Marcus meets the fair young Mercia and falls for her, a young, beautiful Christian woman. However, Nero's wife, Poppaea, played by Claude Colbert, becomes jealous and plots to rid Mercia in the cruelest way possible because she can't bear to have Marcus with any other woman but herself. As I said, I seen this movie about a couple years ago, and I really, really liked it at the time, and I still do feel that way. There's some moments in it that I can't watch, like I end up fast forwarding, or it's just like really uncomfortable for me, which I am kind of. It's funny to find out that some people even felt like that back when it was released. And compared to movies nowadays, you figure it's not nearly as bad. From today's standards, it's not. But if you look at the film on its own, there's some moments that I just don't particularly care for, or, like I said, it makes me uncomfortable. But I'll get into that in a little later. This is still a really great movie, in my opinion, especially if you are a Christian, and you want to get into, some of the biblical terms, which I think Cecil does very well. But let's get into the story a little bit. Well, I gave you the plot, but anyway, okay. So I wanted to talk about why I love this movie so much. I loved Elisa Landi. This was my first introduction to her. I also had seen her in, I think, Return of the Thin Man, the second one, the one with Jimmy Stewart, and I think watching it, I thought she was cute, but she didn't do much for me at that point. But with this one, I feel like she was amazing and did an amazing job here. I thought she was very sweet, but yet she also didn't take just anyone's, garbage. There are times where she can get feisty and can snap back. So she's not just your bland character, although I think the love story probably is a little bland, but I don't mind it. I like it. I also like the music to this movie. There's not a whole lot, but what's there is really nice. I especially love the song. It's a hymn that's being played multiple times. It's showcased in the beginning. The Christians sing it when they're being hauled off to prison, and then at the very end. I also like this film because, as a Christian myself, there are things that I notice that really tug at my heartstrings. For example, there's a moment in the film where a little girl loses her mother during the shot where the Christians are attacked and some of them are killed before they're hauled off to prison. And this little girl, by golly, I cannot for the life of me find out who this little girl is, but she did an amazing job here. And it makes me cry every single time she's on screen. But after she loses her mom, there's a guy that comes up to her and says, "I'm going to take care of you." And then later we see her in the prison with everybody else, but she's laughing with this old guy because she don't know what's going on. And what I love most about that is the Christian community in the film is shown to love each other whenever, I mean, they love each other regardless, but it's like whenever someone loses somebody, they immediately adopt them into their life. Mercia and a young boy lost their parents to what's his name? Nero. And they were taken in by an older gentleman who is like a father figure to both of them now. So there's a lot of community and family within the film that I don't think people really pay attention to, but it is very, very sweet. One thing I noticed about the film is that there is a song that plays throughout the film, mostly when Poppaea is on screen, but it's in the beginning of the film as well. And it's actually a song that was used in the Ten Commandments when Lilia, Deborah Paget's character, sings right before Joshua comes and puts blood on the outside the doorposts. So one other thing I want to get to before I start going into Mercia and Marcus's relationship is there are moments in this film that made me extremely uncomfortable, and I'm just going to go ahead and shout them out right here. Again, I know it's a pre-code film, and it was back in the day, which I can overlook because I'm a very old movie fan, but there are just moments that, well, I'll tell you. So, Stefan's character gets tortured in order to find out where the Christians are. I can't watch that scene. They don't show it, but they just kind of show him going down into this tunnel, and then you hear the torture and you hear him screaming. I don't like that part, so I usually fast forward that one. I also don't like the fact that during the arena scene, even before the Christians come out, they're having like other people being used as sport. And there's almost like a sexual tension, like the crowd is eating it up. And I thought that was just so gross. And it just makes me so uncomfortable watching it. I'm like, Cecil, what are you doing? But at the same time, I'm thinking if this is anything what they did back in the day, I'm like, y'all were nuts. Like, I'm just saying here. The other scene that I actually did not care for either was when Mercia is taken into Marcus's house, because again, he wants her and doesn't want her to die. And when he can't lure her into being physical with him, the whole, like, his people, like fancy dancers or whatever, just comes in and joins the party. And this girl starts making sport of Mercia and starts kind of dancing around her and stuff to try and entice her or something. I always found this scene to be extremely uncomfortable. I want to talk about Mercia and Marcus's relationship. On one hand, it is extremely adorable. Frederick, Mark, and Alicia have amazing chemistry together. They are so cute. I especially love the moment where they're kind of talking at the water fountain. First glance, you could see maybe it's just lust, which I think mostly it is, but he's not mean with her. He is very kind with her. Even when the persecution of the Christians comes, he tries to rescue them in order to rescue her. But of course, he's too late. All in all, I really do think this movie is worth a watch. It is really, really good. Um, like I said, it's very underrated. The performances are really good. I really like them. And again, this is one of my favorites, and I do highly recommend it. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen this movie. What do you think? If you're a Christian, do you have any thoughts about this? But if you're not a Christian, what are your thoughts on the film? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Have a great and blessed day.